Right, what's up, kids? How are we? Let's can you all let me know if you can hear me? I feel very energetic today, so hopefully this will be a good one. There's not many of you online watching right now. I know a lot of you watch later in the evening on a repeat or something like that. But if anyone could let me know if they can hear me, that would be good. Okay, I'm going to start. Can you hear me, Harold? I know you always let me know if you can. All good? Sweet, let's go. Okay, so a lot of you should have watched, or hopefully have watched, the on-chain video I did today. It was just a brief one. But overall, on-chain-wise, we still look good. So everything is improving. We're seeing the exchange and position change improve more greatly, so accumulation is picking up. But what we've been tracking mostly is the sell side pressure. So in the large addresses that we track, we're seeing that the large addresses aren't at this time, so it could change, but at this time they're not selling. So we've seen that the accumulation has picked up, the big addresses are not selling, and we're seeing that we did have one spike on the CoinDays destroyed metric, which showed the a very small spike, and that we saw in the video. It was generated from the a small cohort in the wallets greater than 10 years old, so it was generated from that. So far that's okay. We sort of took a look under the hood on that one, and it was okay. We'd be concerned if the 1, 2 and 3 year guys were selling, but a lot of those guys did their selling in like these price spikes, this one and this one, and then we've seen the accumulation since. So this is positive, this is good. But I know you guys will just want to go through charts, so let's go through mostly the charts. So start with the S&P. The S&P has been going up nicely. S&P is probably due a retest. It's probably going to be somewhere. Well, this is definitely the first level. The second level is probably going to be here at 4.5 on the dot, pretty much. But yeah, that's the S&P. Overall, we're going to look at Bitcoin, then some of the alts, and look for other opportunities. But I'll quickly explain the Fed situation again. So coming into April, we should be okay for continued rises up because there's no macro or economic headwinds other than if something kicks off again on the Russia-Ukraine front. But hopefully they're coming to an agreement and it can all get sorted out. But in May, I think that's when May things will start kicking off and we'll go down from there, because we've got the Fed meeting in May. Interest rates will likely go up by 0.5%. But the most important thing, interest rates aren't really the key thing. The key thing we've got to look for at that meeting is how Jerome Powell talks about the Fed balance sheet and if they're going to be aggressively cutting or not. If they're going to be aggressively reducing the balance sheet, or if they're going to do it in a more steady fashion, because we want to see that they're not doing it in an aggressive fashion. We want them to do it in a sort of, allude to it being done in a few meetings time rather than being done at this meeting. But I think they will announce a plan. So you're going to see all the big institutions that have been loading up in the last week or so. Obviously we've loaded up on some good coins as well over the last week, but I think the big institutions will sell into that event. So I think we've only got, and I think that's 9th of May, that meeting. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it'll be, I think it's somewhere around the 9th of May, but let's just say it's the 9th of May. I think we'll probably be okay until maybe the 25th of April. People will start getting panicky and fearing towards, the May Fed meeting is coming up, blah, blah, blah. So I think come the last week of April, we'll start seeing people not have as much risk factor in them, and we'll start seeing them actually peak off, and we won't get the levels of demand that we've been seeing recently. So that's something to take note. We've probably only got another 2, 3, 4 good weeks. So something to take note of. Let's start with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's still in the channel. I've been posting this chart for God knows how long, saying that this level here was going to be resistance. I would like us to retest 43,900. That would be the main area. And I don't think I'll be getting into Bitcoin. I might do like a leverage trade, something like that. But I don't think I'm going to be buying it. I think the alts can respond better in the next 3 weeks than Bitcoin will. So if Bitcoin does a 15% move, say it comes down to 43.9, and then we get a move into the main orange box, which, as you guys know, is my top level for where I think we'll be at in the sort of May meeting time, and where I'll be looking to sell my stuff and also short everything. So I think we can get a nice move into here at say 44 and get a move up to 55. You're looking at, what's that, a 10-20% move, give or take. 44 is 88, 52 and a half, it's about 23-24%. Let's call it a 24% move, where something like a Solana could dip down into like the 115 level. I don't think we're going to see much lower than 115. I think we could see 115, and then you could go from 115 possibly and test 170. So just quick maths on that is probably 50 move, you're looking at maybe like a 40% gain. So you're better off being in the alts for these few weeks than you probably are being in the big dog, the main dog, Bitcoin. Ethereum probably will also do well. But let's go through it from the very start. You've got my sort of theory now, and now we'll look for more opportunities on this dip. So we'll go through the actual short-term stuff now. So firstly, we'll go Bitcoin. So as you know, this is the level. That's it, 43.9 is where I'll be looking to be a buyer. You'd want to see it hold. If worse comes to worse, we could test this middle 50% line, which is somewhere around the 42.2. But it might be, I don't know, in a couple days time, maybe. So probably it's like 42.4, somewhere around there, $42,400. But I'll probably be a buyer in this zone here at the early 44,000s. So let's look at Ethereum. What can Ethereum do? If Bitcoin's going to come down to 44,000, that's what, let's call it a 4% retrace. So if Ethereum can do a 4% retrace, you know, this is very possible that we retest 3140. I actually am considering probably placing bids already. Let me think about it, but I'll do an announcement or an alert in the group. But I think I'd be worried if 3140 did fail. That's the main thing to worry about. But I think if 3140 did fail, you could have a stop loss, maybe not somewhere like here, somewhere like there. You could have a stop loss at 3077. So at 3140, you've got a, what's that, it's like a 2.5-3% stop loss, so not disastrous. With a 10x leverage, you might lose 30%. So I think I'm going to be a buyer at 3140 with a stop loss at 3070, something like this. So you've got a 3% stop loss, and you'd be looking for a retest here and then a move back up. That's what you're ultimately going to be looking for. So the upside is far greater than what the downside potential is going to be. So Ethereum is something I'm going to probably add just with some of my remaining spot. USDT. So I'll probably put a lot of the USDT I have in Ethereum spot at 3140. Let's look at Litecoin. Litecoin, not too interested for now. I want to see it hold the 119 level. We were commenting on this for ages, that it needs to be it needs to hold, and we need to really, break above it. But yeah, that's what we need to see on Litecoin. We need to see 119 hold and then get above 135. If we get above 135, the RSI isn't too high, I'll consider taking a position. But for now, it's just shown no strength. And even when we hit the all-time high, it's just every time we've come down, the bounce on a lot of other alts and Bitcoin has been far greater than the bounce on Litecoin, which shows you that the conviction in Litecoin is not that great. So we don't really want to be going in that, especially on the side of the upside where our reward is not that high, because it's shown previously that the bounces are not that great. So that's something to really take note of. So I'm not really fully interested in Litecoin. So this one, FTT. This could be a buy very soon. I might place bids in the 47s. Where are we now at Bitcoin? See, we could hold this level on Bitcoin. I think we are due more down. So that would be my only worry. Let me think. So you could enter FTT here at say like a 47 if you get a slight move. Maybe if we get the move. To be honest, if we got the move down on Bitcoin from 45,800 down to 43, you'd probably see FTT come down and maybe test here at 46. So I might place orders between 46, be somewhere in this trend line. I might place orders between 46 and 47, and I might do that in the next like couple of hours. So I would really say pay attention to that, because that's something I could definitely see myself maybe possibly buying. But yeah, that's it for now. Let's look at Solana. So Solana's look really nice. We want to stay above the $115 level. That was the overhead resistance here, and we had this sort of clear range bound action. We really want to be getting above the 115 level, to be perfectly honest. So I may consider adding to the position at 115, maybe a wick into like 112, something like this. But other than that, I'm just happy to hold the position we bought in at. I think I can't remember what our average price was. I think it was like 91.25, something like that. Okay, I've just seen Harold's comment about an article where whales accumulate Litecoin and big transfers grew by 100%. Okay, let's test this with volume. So the volume is still low. Yeah, the volume is still low. I can look into that. If you want to send it to me, I can look into it. But overall, if that was really true, then I think you would see the volume really spike up. But let me look into that, definitely. Right, next coin, BNB. Let's get rid of the volumes again. Even though the volume's been starting to improve. This one I'm not too interested in, because we can't keep above this 433 level. I did say it was an important level. Would I be a buyer? I'd possibly be a buyer at like 407, somewhere like this. Possibly. I just think there's better opportunities elsewhere, because I think this is like stuck between zones, where you saw things like Solana is not really stuck between zones. It clearly broke through, held this one. So as long as you can come down, retest 116, 115 level, and you can cement that previous resistance as a support, then I think it's good to add to that position. Because, you know, we've got all of this room to go up here, where something like BNB, I'm not really seeing... we're sort of stuck between here. We battled at this horizontal resistance for a few days now, and the fact if we get this rejection here in 6 hours time, if we can close above, that would be good. You could even consider adding, even though we've gone sort of straight up, so you don't really want to add into it, but it's something you want to, if you do come down and test much lower, maybe somewhere there, as I said, 407, 408, that might be worth buying. But other than that, I'm not too interested in BNB. Matic, okay, so I did say Matic was in no man's land for a long time, and the 170 was the major resistance, 169, whatever it is. And you can see the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, it's all been the resistance. Broke above, closed below, broke above, closed below. So definitely not interested in this one. There will be better opportunities than this, that's for certain. Polkadot, if we could come down and retest 20.20, I'd definitely be a buyer there. I think that's one I would strongly consider loading up on. I like the fact this hasn't gone up bundle. It sort of has. It's done a 50% move, to be fair. Yeah, I would just be a buyer there. I like the fact that we finally got above this $19 level. And I think it's due a slight correction, and I would feel comfortable buying on the slight correction, assuming we don't go below the $19 level. We don't break this support line, if that makes sense. So you want to see this come down, take out the low 20s, fill orders in there, hold 19, say it does go that low. It might not go that low, but let's say it does go that low. You want to see that hold as a support. And yeah, we should then kick up again from there. So look at Chainlink. Chainlink is out of its main downtrend line. So if we can come and get a retest somewhere in here at like 15s, I would be a buyer. And I would most definitely be a buyer of that, to be honest. So this is one I've definitely got my eye on. Polkadot I've got my eye on. Solana and FTT I've got my eye on. So we're starting to see a few more good opportunities come about. BNB, Matic, not interested. Litecoin for now, not interested. Let's look at AVAX. AVAX not really interested. It's sort of done its extension. Would I be interested in shorting the orange box? Probably not. This is one you guys know I don't really like this one. I think the patterns on it are really odd. It doesn't break the way it's like suggesting it's going to break. So I just think it's a trader's nightmare. So I don't really want to be involved in that, to be honest. I think, again, you're better off waiting for opportunities elsewhere. Let's look at Luna. Luna is a mental coin, it really is. So it's broke through the local orange box, which is good to see for like market sentiment and stuff, which is positive. I do think this is due a down move, I really do. So for that reason, because it is so strong, I don't really want to be a shorter of it, but because it's so high, I also don't want to long it. So it's not something I want to really get involved in right now. So add AVAX and Luna to the list of ones I'm not currently interested in. Curve. So we had a really good trade on Curve. If we can get back down to 236, I would definitely add more. Should we have taken some? I think we did take profits. I can't remember where we took profits. I think we took them somewhere in 2.66, I think, but it was in this candle, not in this candle. So we're already in good profits on Curve and Solana. But if we can come back down here, I'd definitely add more, and I'd probably add heavily. But let's see what we get. Phantom, I want to see it get above 147. If we can get above 147, this horizontal resistance, and close above, maybe spend a day testing it, 2 days testing it, I would be a buyer of Phantom. This is the first time I've been interested in Phantom for a while. As you know, I haven't really, even on this breakout here, I wasn't really interested, just because I think the volume wasn't good. No, the volume was good. I can't remember why I wasn't interested, but this one I just wasn't that interested in, to be honest. But this is the first time I could consider becoming interested in this. But this does need to get above 147, hold above for a few days, and stay above this horizontal support. I feel like this one will actually break down and could possibly test this way. I just don't have that much faith in Phantom right now. But if we can show me it's got the conviction, the strength, I'll happily jump in. So look at Sand. So Sand is one you could possibly buy. Like this one today has gone from 385 down to 340. So that's a good 15% move, 150% leverage. I want to see how Bitcoin closes out the day, but if it closes out the day okay and doesn't break lower, maybe it's better off to wait for tomorrow. But if tomorrow is also okay and Sand's at the same spot, I'll probably buy it where it is right now, assuming it's at that same level in 2 days' time. But yeah, so I've just seen from Alexandro your question. In general, you would not consider selling now and enter again in lower levels. Yes, no, I bought Spot Curve and Spot Solana, as you guys know. I've not sold anything yet, so I'm still happy to hold. As I said, I think we've got another 3-4 weeks of this, so I don't see the point in trying to scalp on the spot side. For the leverage trade, you can maybe take some profits, but that's why on Solana and Curve leverage trade, we've taken profits. And we took profits on Solana. I don't think Solana's had a mental few days, so I think we were taking profits at like 116, but it's still, you know, we're in at 91, so it's still okay. But I'm not going to sell the spot bags. And just in general, to answer your question, I'm not selling spot, but consider taking profits on the leverage futures positions, something like this. But no, I think we've got 4 weeks, so I'm happy to hold for now. So Sand, give it a couple of days, see if it can hold above. If it does, I'll probably be a buyer. Last coin we're going to check is, let's go through a few of these actually. Start with ADA. No, not interested. I could possibly be interested. I'd want to see it come down to here, but that would be on the brink again. So no, I'm not interested. I'd want to see it come slightly lower, test this 99 or, you know, $1 level. But then if you do fail that, you are literally on the brink. Yeah, no, you don't want to be doing that. Yeah, not interested. XRP, never been interested since I was about 15. Let's look here. Doge. It's not getting any volume, is it? The volume has been better actually. So last few days has been much better. But we're not making any higher. Look at the high we made here on very little volume. The volume we've had here, we've not really done loads. No, not interested in Doge. This is why this is in our other list, our mid caps list, because everything here we like, we play. This stuff here we don't. Algo. I could get interested in Algo. Again, once we start dipping into these mid caps though, it's hard to stay interested because you know the liquidity is, if liquidity is being reduced in Bitcoin and Ethereum over the next few weeks, next few months, Do you want to be in the coins that have even less liquidity? You probably don't, because they're not going to get the bounces that they should have, and they're also going to drain, as in go down harder than when Bitcoin and Ethereum do. So again, you don't really want to be messing with these mid caps. Let's look at a few: Tezos, Aave, and Compound, and then we'll bounce from these. No, Tezos got rejected a few times, the horizontal resistance. There's no clear support here to buy other than 322. If it did come down there, maybe I'd be a buyer, but I can't see it really. Aave, woo, nice volume. What's happened on Aave? Can someone tell me? It's held at this support level for now. It's amazing how these horizontal resistances and supports work, but for now it's gone up a lot of. I mean, 2 weeks ago we were at 113. We're now 209. No, it's gone too far. I'm not interested. Great bit of volume there. Compound. If Compound can come down and test this level at 139, I would be interested. I would buy that. So I'm going to add. Let's move some of these up. So let's add Compound into here. Compound is the best one so far. Let's keep that. Sushi. No, not interested. Elrond. Oh, I quite like that as well. Okay, I could be a buyer at 180, 182. It looks remarkably similar to this though. I'd want to see it hold, test down, fill support. If we then break below 177, cut the trade, something like this. But yeah, I'm interested in that. Let's add that also. VeChain, that's mental. No, thank you. Uni, nope. I don't like. You can see from Uni, Coty. I don't like these ones that just go straight up without there being any sort of like significant horizontal supports in the way. Especially when they failed their main bottom support, which tested once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then bang. I'm not interested here. As I said, the volume is picking up actually, but the bounces are still really poor. This stresses my point even more about the liquidity that I'm talking about in these like really low mid cap or small cap coins. You don't really want to be going near them. So these I'll be interested in if we can see some volume come in, if we think Bitcoin is going to continue higher. But other than that, no, not interested. Coty is very similar. Let's look at Atom. No. If we got above this, I would be interested. If we got above 30, some of you might ask, it's weird me saying that I'm not a buyer at 28, but I would be a buyer at 30. But you want to see how things react in terms of their strength, their conviction. So that's what you're mainly looking for. So I can be a buyer at 30 if it showed me the relevant amount of strength or relevant amount of strength or conviction in the market, and the volume has picked up, which is what it has picked up slightly, but still overall it's low. But at 28, I'm not a buyer because I just feel like it can come down to 26. So why would I be a buyer at 28? Because it's not showing me any good signs. Let's look at Cake. No, I don't like these ones that just go straight up and not retesting any levels. Nothing is that clear for me. Again, no. Let's look at Near. Okay, if Near came down to 1180, early 12s, I would be a buyer. I don't think we'll get there, but if it did, I'd be a buyer. So yes, I'm interested in you. You can be moved up. And let's, I'm done on this now. Let's look at, Waves is still doing very well. Jesus. Waves is mental. Waves will be the one we make the most money on shorting in 4 weeks' time. For now, I'm not buying this. There's no chance I'm buying this. But am I shorting it? Also no, because it's frightening right now. I'd rather this come down a bit, test. So say this came down to 44, tested back up to 51. I would short that. And I'd short it at 51. But I wouldn't want to retest something that's just going up and up. Because it's like trying to buy a falling, or trying to catch a falling knife is the phrase, or which is buying stocks, shares, cryptos that are just plummeting. You don't know where the bottom is going to be. So wait for a bottom to be found, wait for some support to be built, and then buy from there. It's the same instance for this. Wait for there to be a top level that's reached. Wait for it to come down, retest that level again, reject, and that's when you short. So there is like a formula to it, if that makes sense. Ape down 10%, nice to see considering how bad their tokenomics are. Yeah, we just don't have enough information yet. Let's look at it on the 12-hour. It would have filled the orange box well and played that well, but we didn't play it. Let's look at Rune as the last coin. It's a daily. So Rune's had a lot of good volume. But again, it's just gone straight up. I'm not interested in this either. So that's it for today. So let's look at Bitcoin one last time. For all, it's coming lower than 45.9. So here I want to... Sorry, I'm still getting used to my trackpad on my new laptop. This is the level I'm looking at firstly, 44,800. And then it's going to be between 43.9 and 44,800. I think 44,800 will be the key level. So that's where I'm really going to be looking. But yeah, that's it for today. Have any of you got any questions? I know there's not many viewers. I know a lot of you guys watch it and then ask me questions in the chats after, so that's completely fine. If there are any questions, let me know in the chat either now or later. I'll wait for sort of 30 seconds or so if any of you have got any questions. Okay, no, I don't think so, and I don't think anyone is typing either. So that's it. We'll call it a day. For all of you that are watching this on repeat later, ask me questions in the chat if you have any. But yeah, that's it. I think the next few days we'll have a few good opportunities. I'm not panicking on any of the positions we currently have, especially the spot ones. Yeah, that's it. If anything, I'll be looking to add, and that's where the opportunities are. But yeah, all done. Cheers, everyone. See you all tomorrow.